The goal of the workforce development portion of this project is that communities can use tools and processes developed through the 3CRS project to support climate resilience and climate readiness within their own communities. So this boils down to folks knowing that the tools and processes exist as well as how they can be used.
This also includes generally educating the public about coastal resilience and sharing resources we find and creating new ones with the communities.
So for RIC, our undergraduate and graduate students are working on K-12 lesson plans that are focused on coastal resiliency. We also have a couple more lesson plans on safe water filtration after flooding events, and one on diatoms as a marker for water quality, and another one on mapping coastal waterways. We also have a video explaining the whole 3CRS project framework on a website for listening and coastal resiliency resources. We are also currently working on another lesson plan for high schoolers on how to build your own sensor and use your own sensor to detect water levels.
So some of the programs and outputs that we've been working on so far in Maine have been engaging communities with collecting and sharing flood observations using community science and teaching folks about sea level rise. So the data that they collect makes its way back to emergency managers as well as the National Weather Service to improve flood alert systems. The observation platform is also connected to a larger flood sensor network that other teams in this project are also helping to expand.
One of our collaborators at RIC is working on developing a high school lesson plan involving water sensors. We're also working on making some of our lesson plans available in Spanish and Portuguese, and we'll be surveying teachers to know their classroom needs surrounding flooding.
In the future, we are going to keep working closely with the 3CRS team as well as the focus communities to do matchmaking across the tools and processes that are being developed through this project. We want to create opportunities for people to learn how to use things like health data, sensors, community narratives, and downscaled climate models to further their climate resilience goals within their own communities.
Our intended audience is anyone who is working on or wants to work on climate resilience, readiness, and/or action in their own communities. These can be people who do resilience and climate readiness work as part of their job, so people like municipal staff or emergency managers, or people who are engaged and hoping to engage in resilience building and climate action as well through volunteer efforts, for example, sustainability committees.
Although Maine and Rhode Island are different, they share similar challenges in regards to coastal climate hazards, as well as a deep affinity for and connection to the coast. The communities we are working with in Maine are learning a lot from the processes that those in Rhode Island have gone through, like how to collect data for a localized flood model.
Working with other communities in general is a great way to get a new perspective on our own work so that we can create greater outcomes together.
This workforce development team is unique in that a lot of our work is shaped by the outputs of the rest of the 3CRS team. It can be hard knowing that a bulk of our work isn't happening right away, but by collecting feedback across teams and communities at the get-go, we can make sure that we're making tools and resources that go back to communities in a way that is useful.
We want to hear what excites you about the capacities of this project and the 3CRS team and why. We want to know what questions you have about storm models, population and health data, or community narratives. And we're really curious what tools and data you are already using and what would make those even better.